Hello, guys. Welcome to the A in Education podcast. So we're back. We haven't done one for a while, but me and Nathan wants to really bring back to the industry education in a nutshell. That's why we started A in Education in the first place, because we have seen a lack of education within the fitness space with the rise of business coaches. And Nathan and I both believe that business coaches are important, but only when you actually warrant having one. If you've not nailed the fundamentals within the coaching space and within your own coaching service, a business coach is quite irrelevant, because all you're going to do is have a leaky back door within your business and clients are going to leave. Then you have to try and find new clients. Nathan and I have built businesses over the last 13 years on our ability to retain clients. So the want and need to get more people through the door is less, because we keep our clients for a long period of time due to the quality of the service that me and Nathan like to think that we deliver. And that's what we want to talk about within this podcast is what A in Education is. So the topic is going to be like why we started A in Education in the first place, the mentorship, what the actual mentorship is, the A in Education hub, and what we're trying to bridge the gap with the A in Education hub, and then why we think this is needed within the industry to really, really help build a big business, a successful business, and then put the fitness industry in a better position than what it is at this moment in time.
Yeah, I think like with just adding to what you said, mate, like I think any coaches who are listening to this, it's thinking about, do you feel like an imposter at this moment in time? Are you lacking confidence with your delivery? Are you getting clients through the door where you're kind of unsure on what's going on sometimes and you're unsure on what to advise? Maybe you're using ChatGPT a lot, you're using Google a lot, and this is your coaching, this is your brain where you're actually getting outside information from ChatGPT, well, which is a quite reliable source. But what I've found with my coaching is that it's come through experience of learning from others who are cleverer than me and applying it to real life scenarios and understanding the mechanism behind why it works. Yeah. Like mechanisms in the mentorship we speak about a lot. Me and Ali teach people mechanisms of why things happen and work. So then it's easier to apply. If you're just going to chat GPT and you're just ramming off what chat GPT is telling you, you don't really understand why that's happened or what the reason why you're applying this is. Or maybe you don't, maybe you do. But I think it's important to understand the fundamentals of mechanisms in the human body so we can actually be confident in our delivery. And therefore, if we're confident in our delivery, does your client buy in more? Of course they fucking do. Yeah. And it's the same as like if a client asks you a one-off question and you're like, oh shit, I don't really know. Yeah. And then again, you chat GPT or Googling and then you just like sending them like that answer in your own words. So, um, and the reason that we said that is, well, that I said that is that I know I can speak for myself and I think I can speak for Ali as well, that we both was imposters at first.
Mhm.
We both felt like imposters. I think as a coach, you always will at a certain point. Yeah, and that's okay because that should drive you to want to educate yourself more. And that is the one of the reasons why me and Ali created the hub and also the mentorship to bridge that gap for you guys so you can learn more, be more confident, deliver with confidence, get better results, retain your clients better, and therefore build a bigger and better business.
Yeah, so there's like a competency graph where a lot of people who may be listening to this will be unconsciously incompetent. So they don't know what they don't know. And then when people potentially come on the AN Education Hub or the AN Education Mentorship, they become consciously incompetent. So they're now aware of what they don't know. As coaches, what we want to be is consciously competent, where we know what we know, but we have to think a little bit to get to the answer, or unconsciously competent, which is the peak of what we want to be able to do, where we just know it and we don't have to think. We just know the answer when a client's giving us the questions or asking us the questions, I should say. And that's the cycle of what we should be in. As Nathan said, me and him have both definitely been imposters and felt like imposters when we started off in this industry. And how Nathan and I got brought into this industry is a lot different to how coaches are coming into it now. But we wouldn't change it for the world, because we got put in situations we had to then go out and learn. We didn't have the likes of what Nathan said before, ChatGPT. We had to read books, or we had to read articles on the internet, or we had to go to courses and learn off people, as Nathan said, who were much smarter than us at that time, and then go and apply it. Because ChatGPT could give you the answers, but we don't actually know how it responds to that person individually. And when apply something to an individual and then you get feedback, something may work for one person but not for another. And the longer you've been in the industry, you're going to be more and more aware about that. So what Nathan and I are going to talk about now is the difference between the mentorship and the AN Education Hub and who's it aimed at. Because we can argue that mentorship is a bigger deep dive into knowledge. What me and Nathan think is really, really, really important for top level coaches to know. And then the AN Education Hub is a sort of lower level entry in which me and Nathan can start to show you what you may not know and expose you to things that you may not even thought about. And it's more of a quote unquote community aspect of things where you jump on a call with loads of like-minded individuals. When a lot of us are online based now, we can feel quite isolated with what we do on a day-to-day basis. So just being on a Zoom call with loads of like-minded individuals, asking questions and trying to get the most out of Nathan and myself or the special guest that we may have on. We're going to have a forum where again you can ask questions, again, a community aspect of things, and then there's going to be monthly meetups. So we can argue the mentorship is a big deep dive for the 6 months into really, really a fast track way to really push your knowledge and really, really push yourself an intelligence and a how can I put it, an educational background. And then the hub is like a little bit of a lower level entry to sort of wet your fingers or wet your toes, I think the phrase is, getting yourself into it.
Yeah, with the hub, the reason we created this was we want people to come into the hub to one, see if you like being educated by me and Ali, right? That is probably one of the main things. You may come in, you may not like us. That's fine. Yeah, you probably will, but you may not. Um, and that's a big thing because you've got the mentor that you have, you've got to connect with, and you've got to have similar values. And mine and Ali's values are literally coaching. We want to be the best coaches and give our clients the best service. So if you're listening to this, you're probably one of them coaches. And also we want to give you, when we say foundation knowledge, the way that I've looked at this is, for example, like on my foundational nutrition section, I teach you about energy balance, right? But it's not just basically calories in versus calories out. It's me going deeper into that on how energy balance works and what can affect energy balance, right? And also, I have a section about macros made simple. So it's not just me teaching you about 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. It's me going more into lean body mass, how you'd work that out. Also, when you'd change a macro split for a certain client, yeah, or when you wouldn't, when you want it more simplistic. So the foundation knowledge, in my opinion, has changed from years ago. The foundation knowledge now as a coach is at a higher level of foundational knowledge. And that's why we've created the hub. We've created a higher um, entry bar of foundational knowledge. So you're not just going to come into the hub and probably know everything in there. That's what we wanted. We wanted, even if you've been a coach for 3 to 5 years, you'll probably still learn something from that hub. And you'll definitely learn something from the live calls. Because the live call on a Thursday is not going to be us going through everything in the hub. It's going to be us going through different parts of coaching that you will take, like golden nuggets from, I always say. Yeah, because if you take 4 golden nuggets a month, then that's worth your investment, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Nathan said this in the seminar on Sunday that we did. Like, if anyone can see me on YouTube here or Spotify if you're watching the video, like clients' knowledge is quite high now. Like clients are picking things up because of things like ChatGPT and the easy access of knowledge, and coaches now are only just slightly above. So that's why the entry foundation knowledge needs to be greater because we should know a lot more than what our clients are knowing. Otherwise, our clients are going to surpass us. And as we said before, like with the focus on business now, and Nathan and I both have a business coach, we both use the same guy. We understand the importance of social media content, but it was never, ever going to take over the importance for me and Nathan anyway, I should say, in regards to knowledge. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to get our clients results. And that's what's going to make your content better, in our opinion. If you can speak about valuable shit in your content, clients are going to go, fuck, he knows something. He can help me. She can help me. I never know. I never knew about that. I'm going to contact her. She could be my next coach. Whereas if you're just fucking saying stupid shit because you want to get likes and you're being quite controversial, that's not really exposing your knowledge at all. That's not showing anybody what you know. You can just show you're a bit opinionated. And right now, the industry, unfortunately, is who can shout the loudest, which is not what it'll be because at the end of the day, you will get found out. And there's a lot of people when we talk about imposter syndrome, they're being someone that they're not. And then when you're putting this content on social media and then you start coaching this individual, they're going to start going, well, he's not actually like that. She's actually not what she is on social media. And then you'll lose the client straight away. So this is why, again, me and Nathan really, really want to hone in on the education side of things because that's what me and Nathan have built over the last 13 years of this industry to give us the solid foundation to what our business is now.
Yeah, so we have in the hub, there's four main sections. So the first section is a 30-day sprint. And this is where we'll kind of go through more the basics, where it's like what coaching actually is, how to communicate with clients properly, managing expectations of clients, dealing with imposter syndrome. So them are kind of the initial videos that you'll probably want to get into at first. And then we have three other sections. One is coaching application. So this is everything, sorry, from structuring your onboarding forms to improving your onboarding videos to all the way down to like road mapping a client's journey, handling higher client loads. So we'll be helping you apply what we are going to teach you in here within that section. Then we've got a foundational nutrition section, as I said, like more about energy balance explained more efficiently, macros in heavier detail, tracking data correctly, and how to make nutritional adjustments like confidently off this. And then like understanding why clients stall as well. So we can go into that. And then the foundations of training, which is Ali's section, which is more about programming considerations, all the way down to like rep ranges and set selection with training frequency, structuring training around a specific individual, and then writing simple, effective training programs. So that's not everything, but that's kind of like the structure of how the hub is with the webinars in there. Then obviously you'll have a live weekly call every Thursday. And we'll have a community forum where you can ask questions on the community forum. There will be a section where it'll be like, ask Nathan and Ali anything. So you can ask us anything, and then we'll answer within that day to help you with whatever question that you've asked us. So that's the hub in a nutshell on how it's going to work, what you'll get, how it's going to run, and what we provide.
Yeah, and then like to move on to the mentorship now, which is just a little bit of a deeper dive into everything where the topics that Nathan and I speak about is just on a just more deeper level essentially. So Nathan will be going into hormones, there'll be blood work conversations, we'll be delving into the digestive system in a lot more depth, looking at things like stomach acid, problems that your client's going to come across, whether this be SIBO, whether this be leaky gut, how to rectify these situations if your clients are coming across that. And then when it comes to training elements of things, like deeper diving into like mechanics, deeper diving into exercise programming and selection, understanding like the physiology of training. Like we've got a lot of talk about fatigue now, but as Nathan said at the start, if you don't actually understand the mechanisms of fatigue and why this may be occurring with your clients, your client just saying, I'm feeling a little bit tired now. And then you're going, oh, you must be fatigued. They could just be in a deficit and they're going to feel tired. So again, when you understand the mechanisms of how things are working within the human body, you can then make more educated decisions. Within that as well, within the mentorship, we also have a psychologist where Liz is going to start then talking about the psychology of coaching. So again, this is why the mentorship is another level up because me and Nathan both believe this. Like you can have all the knowledge in the world, but how you apply it and how you communicate with your clients is really, really important because not everyone is the same. We do need to be sort of a chameleon within our job, and how we speak to people needs to be based on the individual in front of us. Like me and Nathan are quite black and white, so we can just be told things straight to our face. Where you might have some clients who are a little bit soft in nature and you might need to just put an arm around them a little bit more from time to time. And then Liz is going to be teaching you how to read this within your clients, the check and feedback that you may be getting, and then how to actually understand the questions or how to sort of understand if things are going to come up in the future. And that's what me and Nathan speak about as well is how to figure out problems are going to happen, but not there and then, 2 weeks prior. And again, this is why tracking data is such an important elements of it. Like I spoke about stress on Sunday and how we can start to see if a client's body or our own bodies, in that matter of fact, are getting stressed. And then what could be the repercussions of this if we don't address it 2 weeks prior. And that's like the mentorship in a bit of in a nutshell. And I'm sure Nathan will add something in a minute, but it's a deeper dive to take you from a good coach to a fucking great coach.
Yeah, so also what you get with the mentorship as well, you get two further calls. So we have an advanced learning call on the Wednesday, and we have a case study call on the Friday, right? So with the case study call, you can bring clients to the case study call where you'll fill out a case study form, and me and Ali will be going through your case study form live on the call and giving you feedback on what to do with this client to move the needle forward. Yeah, or giving you reassurance. Yeah, where you might be saying, like, this is what I'm going to be doing with this client, and this is what I think it is. And we'll probably just go, yes, that is absolutely correct, or add this as well, or whatever. So we'll be helping you live on the Friday call when you're in the mentorship, if you join the mentorship on with client case studies. And the advanced learning call is where we'll be going through each each month is a different section. So, for example, month number one is where we go through symptoms assessment, structuring fat loss phases in further detail, etc. Month number two is where I go heavy into the digestive system, and it's all around how the digestive system works, what stomach acid is, how to fix leaky gut, how stress affects the gut, etc. And then so on and so forth throughout. Because I think we're in month four now, and I'm going through hormones. Yeah. So each month is a certain topic that we're going to be going through in further detail, and that's on the Wednesday call. Liz also does one call a month with the group that's added. So it's not instead of one of these two calls, it's actually added. So Liz has her own structure with what she goes through with everybody about client adherence, self-sabotage, how to ask open-ended questions, etc. There's a lot that Liz goes through, and she's brilliant. So that's the mentorship in a nutshell. And as Ali said, it's from to take you to the next level of as a coach, yeah, and to help you understand and see how much more there is to learn and what you can apply to your clients, or how much extra you can apply to your clients.
Yeah, and I think like if we look at some of the people who've been on the mentorship, what me and Nathan get a really big kick out of is, as Nathan said, when it comes to the case study call, it's like, what would you do? Like, what do you think your next steps are? And how they started off on month one to how they finish on month six, and the thought process has completely changed, where they actually now understand what they're applying, as Nathan said, understanding the mechanisms within the human body to then come up with the right answers. And it's cool because me and Nathan just go, yeah, well done, everything's nailed there. Let's just see what happens to your client. And let's see how the client responds to what you just put on, because you put on the perfect protocol there. And that's a really, really cool thing for Nathan and I to see. And that's just like getting a six-pack transformation for me and Nathan when it comes to the results that our coaches are showing us now.
Yeah. So that's the difference between the two. Um, Obviously, the registration list is open to register for the hub. The first 50 people, 50 coaches, will get it at a reduced price of 49.99. After that, it goes to 99.99. You need to be on the registration list or the priority list, however you want to call it, in order to get access to this pricing because it'll be emailed out. Yeah. So once the first 50 spaces are sold, it'll then go to 99.99. So you can join the registration list in there's a link in my bio, Nathan_transcend. There's a link in AN Educations, so AN Education 23, and there's a link in Ali, what's your name on Instagram? I can't even
Coach
remember.
underscore Ali Fraser.
Cool. So there's a link in all three of our bios that you can join the registration list. So if you're interested in the hub and you want to see how me and Ali are and how we educate and also look at some live speakers, then you can do. Equally on the flip side, the next mentorship starts on the 9th of August. So there's no mentorship. We're not intaking anyone for the mentorship just yet. We will start intaking people from July. So the July is when the registration list will be open for the mentorship. But yeah, you can like jump on a call with me and Ali, ask us anything about the mentorship if you want to in the meantime, and see whether you want to put a deposit down on your space because we do allow that because there is a maximum of 20 people that join the mentorship each intake. So it is very tight knit because we want to give these 20 coaches the best service possible and upgrade all of the knowledge throughout the 6 months. So once the 9th of August is it passes the 9th of August, we won't be taking anyone for the mentorship again. Yeah, up until next year, because it runs every 6 months. We run two a year. Yeah. So that's everything to do with an
Just
education.
one thing to add.
I was just about
Just
to
one
say, you
thing
got
to add.
anything to add?
I was going to say, there's one thing to add because we just done one on Sunday. People of the mentorship get free access to the seminars. People of the hub get at a discounted rate.
Yep.
With the hub, they get the exercise execution, which is going to be once a month, but that's going to be limited to 20 places. So again, if people want to come to this, they have to put it's first come, first serve. So they have to put the name down. And that'll be more like a community, but a deep dive into training, execution, how we can maximize things for our clients' results. But again, when it comes to seminars, everyone on the 6 month mentorship gets it for free. Then everyone on the hub gets it for a discounted rate.
Cool. So thank you for listening, everyone. Follow us all on Instagram and register for the hub if you're interested. And we'll see you all soon.
So, guys.